Are you ready?
Yeah, you know I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, jump!
We're choosing to unlock the treasures from within. Winners don't back down, now we move forward. Destiny awaits, you got the power, so now roar. This is Relentless Conversations. Destiny awaits, you gotta move forward. Never back down, man, we always move forward. We got the power, it's locked within. My friend, you never give in, cause it's your time to win. This is Relentless Conversations.
Welcome to Relentless Conversations, where the conversations are always to push you forward in your destiny. The battle is yours to win. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yo, what's going on, fam? This is your boy, Noel, and this is another episode of Relentless Conversations. Yo, I'm excited, man. I got one of my guys on with me, man. I've known him for a good little while, man, and I had a request to get, some athletes and stuff on from last season. So I said, let me reach out to a few people that I knew. So anytime I bring somebody to you all, I want to make sure, that they top tier, they're going to bring the heat. They're going to bring some gems to you all. Because after all, it's all about trying to, make you all better, a better version of yourself. So the guy that I'm bringing on today, he's currently the girls' head basketball coach for John. He has 7 years of experience in higher ed and coaching, 8 years experience in K through 12. He is the 2005-06 Player of the Year, All Conference, All Regional, All American, 2021-22 Region 4 AAA Coach of the Year. Man, that's incredible. Region champion and a Final Four appearance. So I just want to introduce you all to my guy, Coach Jeremy Mayweather. What's going on, man?
Hey, brother, man. I am excited, man, to embark on this conversation with you today, my friend.
Yes, sir. So as we get started, man, I got a question that I've been asking some people, and I'm going to ask you this question. So who was Jeremy Mayweather? Who is Jeremy Mayweather? And who is Jeremy Mayweather becoming?
Man, I tell you what, the was, one word, lost. Jeremy Mayweather was lost in searching, for that transition, for that pivot. And, through God's glory, mercy, grace, I was able to find my way, and I'm still on that journey. I don't want you guys to think I've arrived, but I'm still on that journey, taking that walk every day. Who am I now? Man, father, husband, coach, mentor, child of God, man. Man, just, I tell you what, man, it's just kind of one of those things. You just look at, the journey and how far you came and where you are now, and definitely, man, the vision that God has given you as to where you need to be. And where I need to be, man, is continuing to make a difference in our youth's lives, inspiring people to live a healthier lifestyle, and trusting in God, and definitely strengthening that faith. So,
okay. So let's talk about let's go back a little bit, because you're a coach now, but at one point you was an athlete.
Yes.
So what was it like, not only being an athlete, but being a minority student athlete?
Well, man, I tell you, I come from a small town in Barrow County, Statham, Georgia. And just kind of growing up there, man, I would say Statham was kind of 50-50. And, with a lot of schools, a lot of school systems, there are a lot of politics that come into play.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's all about whose mom or dad can donate the most money, which will determine, who gets the amount of playing time or whatnot. So I like to tell people, man, when you hear the term "got it out the mud," I got it out the mud, man. And so I was always at the end of the bench, struggling, fighting, and just just being a minority athlete, man, you were always looked at as you were just athletic and you can't think the game. You don't understand the game. You know, you're just a guy that can run, jump, and shoot, you know. And so, you know, during my time, man, thank God I had an uncle, man, you know, who was very, very, who had been through this process before, went overseas and played ball. You know, he was always there every step of the way to enlighten me, keep me encouraged. And, you know, teach me about appreciating the process, you know, from the end of the bench, you know, to the front of the bench, you know. So, you know, I learned that, you know, being a minority, you're going to face a lot of trials and tribulations, you know, on this journey in sports. You know, it's going to be times where people are just going to test your intelligence and things like that. And you're constantly fighting the stereotypical perception, you know, that a lot of people have, you know, of the minority athlete. But man, I tell you, it's been fun. You know, it's been a journey, and the biggest thing that I've learned, man, is just how to listen.
Yeah.
You know, it's how to listen, man. Sometimes you can just sit and you can just listen, and you'll hear everything that you need to know. You know.
My fellow entrepreneur, it is Bobby Robinson, also known as the Influencer Attorney. And first of all, I'm sure by now you are enjoying the conversation with Relentless. I'm super excited to partner with Noel to offer 2 courses exclusively for his listeners. So the first course is a DIY business formation course. And this course is really for anybody who's trying to figure out what business entity. Is it an LLC? Is it a C Corp? So in this course, you'll learn everything you need to know about business entity formation, and I'll actually show you how to get it done in your respective state. The second course is a DIY trademark course, and this is one of my most popular courses. Everybody's trying to get their brand protected, and rightfully so. So in this course, I teach you everything that you need to know about trademarks, service marks, and more importantly, again, I literally show you step by step on how to get your brand protected by actually showing you how to file a trademark application. So I'm super excited to have you. Feel free to go ahead and register today, and I'll see you on the other side. Take care.
Yeah, so you mentioned coming from the end of the bench.
The end of the bench, man.
And I see here your bio, you was the 05-06 Player of the Year.
Right.
So let's talk about the work ethics, not just the work ethics, but the mental build that you had to do to even get to that point.
Man, listen, you don't get to that point, man, without some very, very important people or influential people in your life.
Yeah.
And so I tell you what, man, I had some amazing teammates in high school. Man, I'm just gonna name a couple, but they were all amazing. But man, I tell you, Thomas Tucker, Carlos Lumpkin, Jarvis Lee, Jason Barnes, Tony McClain, like Calvin Vickers, like those guys, you know, even Scott Harris, man, like those guys, we were just so tight as brothers. And when I tell you, man, we held each other accountable in every regard, man, in every aspect, every situation, man. And you had no choice but to grow and develop. You had no choice but to blossom in that situation. You know, I was always labeled the late bloomer. You know, I was always the one on the team with the baby face, you know, the long arms and the big feet, and I just looked so awkward. And you know, just having those guys to really kind of take me in as a little brother, and toughen me up and stuff like that, you know, just throughout high school, man, was truly what I needed, you know, to accomplish what I accomplished moving forward. So, man, it was a process, and I don't think that process happens without those people first. And then, you know, just the work ethic, man, it's just, you know, in my hometown, and I hate that it's not like this anymore. Every Saturday, Sunday, you were at that court playing basketball, you know, and you had the old heads in the community, you know, out there teaching you game, just teaching your life, man, you know. It was just so many different types of examples that you could just kind of learn from. You know, you had guys who were businessmen out there. You had guys who were your local, you know, street pharmacist. You know, I'll say that. But it was just kind of a variety of lessons out there that you could learn. And so I was always tapping in, just trying to learn as much as I can from those who were older than me. So you know, along that journey from the end of the bench to the front, man, it was that just being humble, man, willing to listen, willing to learn, you know, listening to the great advice, listening to the not so great advice, you know, having that ability to discern. You know, I think that's what it was. And then, you know, my parents, man, you know, you got to thank my parents. You know, I was blessed, grew up in a 2-parent household, strong father figure. Strong father figure, and I would say even a stronger mother figure. You know, Mama Mayweather, she did not play at all. But you know, it's just, you know, it's just that journey, man. You know, I think every kid goes through. Some kids decide to step off, you know, and step to the side, say it's not for me. But you know, I always saw the light at the end of the tunnel. So, you know, so I tell you, the best part of it was when I had my season-ending injury in high school, my senior year. It just seemed like, man, everything that I had worked for was coming into fruition. It was there for the taking. I remember, man, I had a game where I came off the bench, and I think I may have scored like 28 points in 2 quarters, you know, just in 2 quarters, man. And, you know, it was clicking. And then I started to get college interest off the bench, you know, think about how good our team was for me, the 6th man, to get college interest.
Yeah.
And so I ended up blowing out my knee against Jackson County. Went up to block a kid who was trying to dunk on me, and he missed the dunk. You know, he missed the dunk. But in the process of him missing the dunk, man, we collided, and you know, did some damage to my knee. And I remember coming down on the ground, and man, I tell you, this is the first time I saw my pops cry. You know, my pops came over, and you know, he saw it, and he said, "Oh God." And my knee was just swollen, it looked real deformed. And I tell you, man, when I got to the hospital, it was a man named B.D. Bradley. And he was like, you know, I grew up as a musician in church, so I don't want you to think I didn't have a faith background. But as a musician, you know, you play the drums. You know, I was a drummer. You play the drums in church, and then when you're done playing the drums, you go in the back, you drinking, snacking. You know, you just hanging out while the preacher's preaching. And then when he gets to that point to where he's hooting and hollering, you come right back in, and you back him up, do what you do. And so a good portion of me being a drummer growing up, man, I was always in the back while the preacher was preaching. So I missed a lot.
Yeah.
But I would say Mr. B.D. Bradley, during that injury, he was the one that made it click for me. You know, just the importance of having faith or being faithful to God. I tell you, man, he came in and he prayed over my knee like nobody's business, and he put the oil on there and everything. You know, he asked me, could he put the oil on there, and I didn't know what he was doing. And so I looked at my mom, and she's like, it's okay. So, you know, he started praying and rubbing, and he was speaking in tongues, and I got my head bowed. He started speaking in tongues. I look up at my mama like, Mom, is he turning into something? You know, because nobody spoke in tongues, you know, where I went to church, man. So he was speaking in tongues. So, man, I tell you what, man, the doctor told me, I'll never forget this thing. The doctor told me, he said, Jeremy, he said, you know, just for a better way of life, probably be best if you don't participate in any type of athletics. You can run and stuff like that, but just at that level, you know, that competitive level is probably best, because this is something that's going to keep reoccurring. And I tell you, man, I think that, you know, the work was done when Mr. BD was praying. I think, you know, I think, his relationship with God kind of carved out my path, and I always give him credit. And sometimes, I tell you, I get emotional about it because, I think, in sports, especially when it's with minorities, God gets lost.
Yeah.
He gets lost, and people don't really realize how important, God truly is when you're, just in everything, but especially in sports. But man, I tell you, I was down. I was down at the end of January. The doctor told me that, I would be back walking in October. And I tell you, man, July, and I'll go back to this, man. I was crutching. We were playing Monroe area, which is our rival. It's our rival school.
Okay.
Right. And man, we had some great battles, Keenan. And I'll never forget, my mom asked me, she said, "Did you want to go to the game tonight?" Now I'm depressed,
Yeah.
My only shot at going to college, it's gone.
Yeah.
And my mom said, "You want to go to the game tonight?" I was like, "No, I don't want to go to the game." She said, "Well, you going to the game? But you ain't gonna tell Mama Mayweather no. She tell you what you gonna do." And so I got up, and the craziest thing, she had my outfit laid out and everything. She had them put my jersey out there with a long sleeve shirt. She had a little blinking light that I was with the logo on it that I was gonna wear. And so got to the game, Kenny, man, and I walked into the gym, and I remember Coach called the timeout. And when I came in, my team stood up. They was clapping for me, and then everybody started clapping. And so, I tell you, in that moment, that's probably like one of the lowest moments of my life. Man. In that moment, man, I sat down behind the bench. And, man, I cheered my heart out for my team. I could have been selfish, could have been upset that I wasn't playing, but, just the overwhelming amount of love and appreciation that people, just kind of came, "Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. You look, young kid, man, your future gonna be bright." Just the encouraging words. And then at the end of that game, Kenny, if nothing but God, man, my junior college coach, he came up to me. He said, "Man, I drove down from Atlanta, man, to watch you and Carlos play." And he said, "Man, I hate to see you on crutches." He said, "What's the time frame?" And I told him, I said, Coach Pritchard is his name at Atlanta Metro. And I said, "Coach Pritchard," I said, doctor said I should be, back walking normal in October. And he said, "Well, I want you to come on campus and take a visit." And I said, "Well, Coach," I said, "the doctor said I shouldn't play, at the college level or at a higher competitive level or whatnot." And so, man, Coach Pritchard said something to me, man. I mean, it sticks with me to this day. Kenny, if you tell me that I can't do something or I cannot do something, Kenny. Yeah. Kenny, you're gonna have to lay me flat on my back. You got to lay me out to keep me from doing it. And the thing about it is and Coach Pritchard told me, he said, "Son," he said, "the doctor is not God." And he said, "What God has for you is for you." And then he probably said, "I want you to come on campus, take a tour. Let me know what you think." And so, a couple weeks go by, we get invited, me and Carlos Lumpkin, who's a pivotal person in my, in my journey, man. Me and Carlos go up to the campus, man, and Coach was like, "Hey, do you want me to get a golf cart or something like that and drive you around?" I was like, "Nah, I didn't want to show no signs of weakness, so I crutched. Kenny, I crushed that whole campus. You talking about a campus is like, just a little bit smaller than Georgia College's campus, Okay. I crushed it, man. I crushed around that campus, man. And you talking about, man, I was just so exhausted, man. And so when we got back to the office, Coach Pritchard, he goes, "Well, I got the scholarship papers right here filled out." And my mom and dad were sitting right there, and Carlos and his mom and uncle were sitting there. And so he goes, "Well, I got a scholarship for y'all." And so, me trying to be, like I'm just that guy, I told Coach, I said, "Hey, Coach, I'm going to take this paper home, talk to my parents about it, see what they think." And my mom looked at me, she goes, "Take it home." Talk to me about it. And she said, "What? You don't sign a scholarship?" And so, so I signed that scholarship. Kenny, I kid you not, man. I kid you not, man. I hit rehab so hard, man. And by July, Kenny, I was walking. I was running, jumping, dunking. I was playing in the summer workouts and everything, man. And then, you know, after that, man, the rest was history, man. So I learned that, you know, although you may be a minority, man, when God is with you, man, when God has something for you, brother, it don't matter the color of your skin. It don't matter how old you are. It don't matter where you are in life, man. When it's for you, brother.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just what it is. And that's what I would say to, you know, a lot of these minority kids, man. If it's truly what God has destined for you, ain't nothing gonna get in the way of it, man.
Yeah. Yo, what's up, fam? This is your boy K Noel back again. Yo, check this out. For all my authors, my business owners, my coaches out there, are you looking to get your business, your book, your program in front of another audience? Then this is for you. Relentless Conversations is looking to partner with you. Yes, you. So what I need you to do right now, all serious inquiries, email right now, podcast@relentlessmotivationalgroup.com. Hey, I'm looking to hearing from you so we can work together to strive to go forward. All right, let's go. Yo, what's going on, fam? This is your boy K Noel. Look, a lot of you have been asking me questions on what did I do to get started? How did I pattern out my episodes? How did I reach out to different guests? Well, here's your opportunity now to learn everything that I have done leading up to episode 50. I will show you how to monetize. I will show you how to reach out to different guests. I'm showing you so much behind the scenes stuff that I do in my own podcast. So coming soon is my podcast course. Be sure to tune in and check it out. All right? K Noel, your relentless motivator. Now I'm motivating you to start your podcast. I'm out. Man, and one thing I love about what that whole moment in your life, because I'm all about being relentless.
Oh yeah.
And when you have that relentless mindset, you ain't let nothing stop you.
Mm-mm.
And you could have very well listened to what that doctor was saying.
Oh yeah.
But first of all, God placed somebody in your life. He lined everything up for you. I talk about that in my book, Be Relentless, about your DNA path.
Right.
And it's a path that's destined straight for you. And because you stayed on that path, God lined every person that you needed to encourage you, to keep you pushing and not listen to what the opposition was telling you. Because at this point, the doctor means well, but sometimes people in your life can mean well, but their words aren't what you need, and they become the opposition for you.
That's right. And it's staying, man, God, there it is again. It's staying committed to what God has lined up for you, man. That's the hardest thing. People will tell you some things that sound great, but when you know what you're supposed to be doing and staying committed to it and staying patient with the process, I'm telling you, man, that reward is beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah, most definitely. The process is there, and it's not always easy. And I think, especially in today's time, we want things to be easy.
Right. We
don't want to go through a process, but that process is necessary because that's molding us for the next phase in our life.
Right. And I tell you, man, even that next phase for me, when Atlanta Metro was a junior college, so it was 2 years. So you do 2 years there, and then you do 2 years there, and then you leave. And you go to a D1, D2, D3. And so, in my transition, everybody wants to go D1. And there were some D1 opportunities for me to pursue. But, just given the circumstances, man, I ended up choosing to go to Georgia College and play basketball. And I'm gonna tell you this story, man. If you got time, brother.
Yeah.
Georgia College, man. He's the head college coach, man. This is awesome right here. He's the head college coach at Boston College now. His name is Earl Grant. And Earl Grant, it played a significant role in me choosing to go to Georgia College. Once I found out that I wasn't going to be able to go Division I, I didn't visit any other Division II. I came down, played basketball at Georgia College with all the guys, and I didn't care. I didn't care if they were good or whatnot. It was just, I knew I had already did my background, my research on the academics at Georgia College, and I knew, like, okay, I want to be strong academically. So, I did my research on the academics, and so I advise every kid to do that. Don't just go to a college because of the name. All right, because of the name. And I'm gonna say this, man. I hope this falls upon open ears. That basketball, that football, whatever, especially that basketball, it's going to stop bouncing. It's going to stop bouncing. And when it stops bouncing, you gotta figure it out, brother. Sisters, you gotta figure it out. And that's a big part of, my ministry to kids. It's bigger than basketball. But Earl, man, back to Earl. I used to come to Georgia College for high school camps, and Earl played there. And so my first year going to a team camp at Georgia College, I forgot my shoes, man. And you know how those team camps go, man. And back in the day, man, it was some really good basketball at those team camps, man. You talking about, like, that's when Baldwin had, like, their stud teams, man, and then all the schools out of Macon would come, and some of the Gwinnett schools would show up, man, and it was the place to be. Georgia College camp. I forget my shoes, man. And I'm talking about, you remember that you've been around long enough to remember when the smokestacks were in Millersville. Yeah. Right? So I'll never forget, man, Coach Richardson, man, he goes, man, I hope everybody got everything, man. He goes, it's time to get to it. And man, I just, something just said, man, look in your bag, man. I look in my bag, man. Kenny, I had work, my daddy, I asked my daddy for something. He just don't give it to you. You got to go out there and do something. You got to cut grass. You got to do something, clean out the shed or do something. I had work to get those shoes for the summer, man. And I looked at my bag, there we go. Wow. And so, man, I looked in there. I thought my teammates were playing with me. So, because I was the youngest one. And so I'm looking around, man. I called my mom. And I said, Mom, I think I left my shoes at home. I said, can you look in my room and see? She's like, yep. She said, right here on your bed. So I said, Mama, can you bring them to you? She said, I ain't driving to Millersville to bring you no shoes. You better figure it out. So Kenny, look, I had some ankle braces, the tie-up kind. Yeah. Kenny, I was at my first games. I was out there in ankle braces and Sperry boat shoes. Kenny, I was not going to be stopped, man. But then so once everybody kind of saw that I was a kid out there playing in boat shoes, man, my teammates, they were already cracking on. So I'm in the little game room, and coach comes to me. He's like, Coach, he said, Jeremy, I don't want you to hurt yourself out there in those boat shoes or whatnot. And he let me play a little bit, but he's just like, man, it's probably best you just chill out. And so, man, I was crushed, man. So I'm sitting in the game room, they joking, making little side cracks at me. And so everybody leaves out, man, and I'm not playing. So I said, I'm just gonna stay right here in the game room, And so Earl goes, hey, young fella. And I said, hey, man, how you doing? He's like, man, he said, hey, hold on for a sec, man. Hold on. He runs upstairs, man. He brings me down a pair of brand new Allen Iversons, man. Wow. And at the time I wore a size 12. They were size 12. Perfect fit. Wow. Perfect fit. And you talking about, man, he told me, he said, man, just do good, man. He said, make sure you get your books, graduate. And so Georgia College was implanted in my head from Earl. I said, man, if somebody like this is at Georgia College, man, I wouldn't mind being. And so, when the time came around for me to pick that next school to go to, it was a no-brainer for me. So I came to Georgia College, and then I met Mo. We talked about Mo, and I met Mo, and Mo was truly a man. I can't even tell you, man, how impactful this man has been. This brother has been in my life. But it just goes to show you that as a minority athlete, you gotta have that support system. You gotta have those people that are gonna step in and be that light for you. But yeah, man, just I wish we could get back to where, I'm gonna say it like this, man, to where the brothers start back really truly investing in the youth, in that next generation. That next generation of youth, man, because I was blessed to have it. I'm trying my hardest to do that, for the ones, I'm trying to pay it forward for the ones behind me. If you talk with anybody, they'll tell you, man, Coach May, when it comes, hey, Coach May, I want to try to go to college. I will put you in the gym, work you out. I will, try to exhaust my resources and networks and contacts to try to help you out, get you somewhere. But it was done for me. So, yeah, I have to pay it forward. So, that's the one thing I wish that we all saw. I do see a lot of this, man. Yeah. I see a lot of that amongst our community. And, I just, whatever we can do to get that back rolling, man, how it used to be.
Absolutely.
Goals. How many goals have you set up for yourself when you gave up because it was too hard? How many times did you feel you weren't good enough because the journey seems tedious? I too felt this way, but then things changed. I realized I had to change how I think. I had to change who I was. I had to be relentless. I am Noel. I want to tell you about my book, Be Relentless. It teaches how to understand your roar, your design path, hitting your mark, and much more. Purchase your copy of Be Relentless today at www.relentlessmotivationalgroup.com. It's not just another book. It's a movement. So are you ready to be relentless?
Yo, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Tree, the LPC. Have you ever wondered why you won't let others get close to you? Does it bother you that you feel disconnected from family members and friends? Do you think that you might have imposter syndrome? Well, be sure to tune in to the Self-Aware and Effed Up podcast to learn more about yourself as well as taboo topics in mental health. Also, be sure to follow me, Tree the LPC, on all social media platforms under the handle Tree the LPC.
Hey, so we're going to transition to this next phase of this episode. So I asked you a few questions in the form you filled out about your favorite speakers.
Right.
So here's what I'm doing this season. I got a segment called Let's Talk About It.
All right.
So with the person that you pick, I think you pick Eric Thomas, you pick John Howard Wesley, pick Kobe, you pick Mo. So ideally I wanted to do Mo, but I didn't know how to find some stuff. I started to reach out to Mo and ask him did he have some stuff. But I got this clip from Kobe. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share my screen with you.
All right.
And I'm gonna play this clip and then we're gonna talk about it.
Do you have any advice for students entering an organization and being the youngest person, not in the room, but in the whole company?
Well, I mean, in business, it's a little different. It's. I think the best way to prove your value is to work, is to learn, is to absorb, to be a sponge. Right? But you always want to outwork your potential. As hard as you believe you can work harder than that.
All right. So let's talk about it. So just from that clip that Kobe was talking about, what does that piece mean to you?
Man, I tell you, it goes back to what we were talking about I think before we started the interview about just at the foundation, man, he said, you know, my favorite part of it is he said, be a sponge. And be a sponge. And I think, man, for me, you know, the day that I learned to keep my mouth closed and open my ears,
yeah,
I think that's when I began to progress. That's when I began to understand how to navigate, you know, being a minority, and how to pick up on, you know, a variety of things, you know, undertones and things like that. You know, you have to acknowledge, man, like when Kobe speaks, man,
yeah,
it's gonna be powerful just because I've been a Kobe fan since day one. I've been a Kobe fan, you know, since the air ball. You know, everybody quit on Kobe when he shot the air balls. I said, that's me. Like, I'm not afraid to get in and take the shot. You know, I'm gonna shoot it again and again and again. And so, you know, that clip, man, it's just a testament, you know, to Kobe, man. Like when he shot those air balls, I guarantee you when he went back to the bench, he listened. He listened to that advice, but he didn't quit. Yeah. He listened and he went and he put the work in and he worked hard, harder than anybody else. I was reading something was sent to me, and if you don't mind, I want to share it.
Yeah.
And you got to read Corinthians for the context, man. And it's amazing how the Bible speaks. It's amazing how the Bible speaks, man, in so many different ways. 15. And it says, man, by the grace of God, I am what I am, and his grace to me was not without effect. No, I worked harder than all of them, yet not I, but the grace of God that was with me. And, you know, I just think about it, man. Like in that moment, man, that came to me during our tournament time of just about hard work, perseverance, you know, just listening, man. And I can't tell you how many people I leaned on to, you know, just to kind of give me guidance, just in this ministry that I am in now. And just humbling yourself. You know, that's the part of that clip that I like, man. Humbling yourself. Humbling yourself to grow, you know. It's just a beautiful thing, man. Just humbling yourself to grow and progress, man, and operating with humility and respect, man. And so I think, man, if you, and you may have encountered this because I know you are, you know, I know you've been elevated probably since I left you, man, but you supervise people, man. And I know you dealt with, you know, people who come in and automatically want to run the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, you know, and those, you know, unfortunately, man, you know, those people are a detriment to themselves, you know, not having the ability to come in and just listen, pay attention, see how things are working, and understanding that, you know, they have something to add, but understanding how to make those suggestions,
right?
You know, humbly and stuff like that. So, that clip, man, it opens up so many different angles and avenues that you can take to just break it down. It's just so loaded, man, with nuggets. One of my favorite clips, man. So, I would just say, man, my favorite part of it is just being that sponge, man, just listening, brother. Yeah. Just listening, you know.
Yeah, and I say you definitely have to be a sponge. And I'll tell you too, I've learned, and you kind of mentioned that, you know, with the doctor and stuff. I had to learn to be a sponge with a filter too.
Yes, sir.
Because it goes back to what we were saying. Some people would try to put certain things in that sponge that don't even belong there.
That's right.
It may be some toxic chemicals that may eat up the sponge.
That's right.
So you definitely have to have your discernment on who is pouring into you.
That's right.
And something else you said, about the humbleness, you can't go. A lot of people, I think our egos get in the way sometimes. And
exactly.
because I know I'm the baddest, I know I'm this, and yeah, you may be the baddest, but you still got a lot to learn. And I really think a lot of us mess up because we don't want to learn, because we think we know it all and can't nobody else teach us nothing.
Yes.
So yeah, man, I absolutely love what you said. So we're going to end it. I'm going to let you say any encouraging words or however you see fit to the listeners and viewers, and we'll end it from there.
Man, I'm gonna take it left, Kenny. I'm gonna encourage all your viewers and listeners, man, to grow your own food.
Yeah.
All right. Put down all this processed stuff. Find yourself with a daily regimen of devotion. And live as a servant leader. That would be my final words, man. Live as a servant leader, man. I tell you what, man, you'll be shocked at the amount of blessings that you will create for others, and that will be bestowed upon you. Just understanding, man, that God is the end all be all, and we are put here on the earth to make it better than we found it.
Yeah. Let me ask you this real quick. For those who may not know, because I don't want to leave no stone unturned. What is a servant leader?
Man, in its simplest form, Kenny, man, it's just simply getting out there and doing for others, brother.
Yeah.
And I tell you, man, what resonates with me, man, is love thy neighbor as you love thyself.
Absolutely.
And if you're gonna work hard for yourself, work hard for your neighbor, man. And that's why I said, man, in this ministry that I'm in right now, this season of coaching that I'm in right now, and I coach women's, man. I coach young ladies. And so not only do they get an opportunity to, not only do they get an opportunity to get out there and fellowship and stuff like that, but they get opportunity to pour into me, to teach me things. I'm a new parent, man. My oldest is 4. And so I get an opportunity, man, just to watch it. Let me tell you something, man. I got a great group. I got a phenomenal group of young ladies, man, that I coach. But, just them feeling comfortable enough to share with me their trials and tribulations, man, it makes me a better father, better husband to my wife and my kids.
Yeah.
And, so just by me being a servant leader, I feel like that's what I get back. That's what I get back by doing that, by serving others. And they'll tell you, man, Coach May, if I call Coach May and say, hey, I want to get in the gym and shoot, Coach May, I need to chat with you or whatnot. Coach May is there. And that goes, that goes all the way back to, my girls at Georgia College, brother. Yeah. They'll call Coach May, I'm getting married. Coach May, I got this going on. Can you, I love helping people. I love serving people. I love, being able to bless people in however God sees fit. So I say, man, just love thy neighbor as you love thyself, man. You go hard for yourself, man. Go hard for your neighbor. And I think if we understood that at its core, a lot of the things that we deal with throughout life, the differences that we have conflicts with, they wouldn't exist.
Absolutely. Well, man, I just want to take time to tell you thank you, man, for taking time out, to sit here and have a conversation with me.
Oh yeah, man. Anytime, brother. Anytime, man.
Yeah, man. You definitely dropped some gems, man. I'm sitting here thinking about some of the stuff that you dropped, man, and yeah, we may have to do another episode, man, because it's still so we could have went a little bit longer. So yeah. But I just want to tell you, man, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate the brotherhood, everything.
Yeah,
So yeah, man. As for my listeners, you already know what time of the day it is, whatever time of the day it is. You all have a great day, a great evening, a great morning. And you already know we leaving no days left behind, and we're going to always be relentless. I'm Noel, your relentless motivator, and we are out.
We're choosing to unlock the treasures from within. Winners don't back down, now we move forward. Destiny awaits, you got the power, so now roar. This is Relentless Conversation.